angry guy here, and she traded a good life for the streets, and now she's homeless, hungry, and suffering. Guys, if there is a topic you would like me to cover, to request a topic for a video, see the description below. And now, let's jump right into the video. Ollie.
Hi.
How you been?
Not good.
Not good?
Not good.
What's been going on?
Same stuff. Honestly, nothing different. Same stuff.
Just out here on the streets?
Yep.
What were you doing when I seen you earlier?
I was trying to make it mob through town, like trying to trying to find an outlet to charge my phone and some water, because I was dying of thirst, and by the time I made it to where there would be water normally, they had the water faucets turned off, and which was crazy, and the outlets was painted over, so you couldn't. It was like, that's how they do out here. Like, they make sure they want to push us homeless people out to the desert, literally, so that we just die out there.
Yeah, it looked like you were about to have a heat stroke.
Yeah, for real. No, I really was. So all jokes aside, we came off everything. I was like, I was about to die. I was dying when I seen it. Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't even know why I'm still out here. I kind of feel silly doing this interview for the third time, because I'm very ashamed of myself. Like, I should already be changing my life. I shouldn't be out here living this life, but in some sick, twisted way, I'm punishing myself for my past mistakes. And the fact that I don't get to talk to my children, it makes it harder, you know, for me, because I'm not able to have the, you know, I don't know, it's like the last memory I have is my mistake, you know? So it's just like hard. But I feel like it's gonna be soon that I go, because I can't take this anymore. I can't take my lifestyle. I can't take the things I do to get money. I can't live with myself. Like, it's just all getting really bad.
I'm sorry. Have you been looking into any shelters or anything like that?
Fuck a shelter. Sorry, but I don't want a shelter. Okay? I have somewhere to stay. Like, it's not a... Shelter is not the answer. I go to a shelter, I'm still gonna be on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need help getting off.
So you have somewhere to stay right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't always stay on the street. I bounce in and out of, you know, people's houses and stuff all the time. But I always have to transport my stuff everywhere I go, and so it's just a hard life, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's just very hard, especially on my body. My body's like, you know, I'm 40 years old, and I feel like a 90-year-old woman. Like, and that's another fear of mine too, is when I get how my body's gonna feel, because I feel beat down. So I can only imagine when I come off how bad my body's gonna hurt, because of everything I put it through, you know? Like, I'm a beast, like, compared to the average person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can withstand a lot of stuff, and athletic things, like, you know, endurance and enduring things, and just, like, you know, pressing on past the point of where you think you're gonna give up. Keep going, and like, and that's me. But I just need to harness it and put it in the right direction, because I'm going nowhere, like, you know, and really dying fast doing it. Like, body's withering away, like, it's just like hurting. I can't even tell you how bad it hurt.
Do you get scared of dying out here?
Heck yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people die. There's been a lot of killings and stuff, you know, like just stuff that's close to home, like where I was staying and stuff. Just like literally like 9-10 people just died. Like ambulance too.
People that you personally knew?
Yeah, like and stuff and this and that, you know, but like, you know, for crazy stuff like stealing. Like, stealing will cut your life short quick. Like, and it's just sad because there's a lot of thieves out here, and like women and all, in a bad way, you know, and like, and just crazy. You wouldn't think that, and especially women, like you wouldn't think that, you know, you would think that out here that there would be some sort of like, you know, for the women, like more, you know, be more gentle or more loving towards women at least, you know, hold the door, you know. I'm used to Southern hospitality and stuff, like it's not like that out here. Like they don't give women any type of like leniency. Like it's like they expect us to be, like they hold us accountable just as like they do the men. And if we do some fuck shit, like they're gonna treat us like a man. Like, you know what I mean? Like the punishment is just like what a man would get. Like it's not no different. Like, and it's just shocking to me that they could do something like that to a woman, but I guess it isn't. Like when you do something that like, you know, like basically like if you are gonna hit a man, you're gonna hit back. You know what I mean? If you're gonna do, you know, you get what I'm saying. I'm like delirious from the sun, so sorry if I'm remembering.
I mean, guys, there you go. Do you hear what she said? She said that the streets don't discriminate. She's shocked how things work on the streets, because in the streets, men and women are treated equally. You know, for example, if if a man does something, then he's going to be disciplined by the streets, and if a woman does something, she's going to be disciplined by the streets. There's no white knighting on the streets. All right. You know, it's with the streets, it's equal. There's equal lefts and equal rights on the streets. That's how the streets, you know, equal rights and equal lefts. That's how the streets work, right? And she's surprised that women are treated equally to men on the streets, and it hurts her. Guys, this really reveals to you that women know that they are treated differently in society. They are elevated and given a position that they do not earn in society just for the very reason that they are women. But then when they end up on the streets, they find hardship on the streets that they never imagined, and yet they cannot stop going back to the streets. Notice he asked her, what about getting into a shelter? And she immediately cursed at the idea. Why? Because she wants the freedom of the streets. She can't, guys. She will never be able to truly get off the streets. The streets will always be with her. They will always be calling out to her. All right? This is in Arizona. She can get an apartment. She can get an actual apartment. The problem is, man, that she wants to be able to pick up, leave, and disappear for days, weeks, months, or even years, and then come back. Where is she going? She's going right back to the streets. Because it's exciting, it's exhilarating. On the streets, she has a flurry of different emotions, both positive and negative. You have to understand, for a woman, positive emotions and negative emotions are both good emotions. Okay? All emotions are good emotions for a woman. And the thing is that a woman enjoys a melody of emotions. You know, if she's constantly in a state where she's happy, right? Eventually that happiness will deteriorate, and she will no longer be happy because now it's boring. So now she wants to try something else, something that may be chaotic, something that's going to take her to a darker place. Guess what? Those dark emotions are also positive emotions for her. Those sad emotions are also positive emotions for her. Okay? There's no such thing as bad emotions for a woman. All emotions are good for a woman. All emotions make a woman happy. Both the good and the bad. That's her psychology. The notion that she's going to suddenly change her ways, because, and there, like I said, there are you guys who are going to be in there saying, that are going to say pray for her and all this stuff. Guys, she made this choice. She is 40 years old. 40 years old. And she is on the streets. And she is there by choice. And she said that she's like ashamed of herself, disappointed in herself. Why? Because she's had so many opportunities, but she cannot get off the streets, because she will not leave the streets. Because if she gets off the streets, then she has to have some structure in her life. And she does not want any structure. She wants the freedom of picking up and leaving. Why is it that she goes from place to place? Why is it that none of the people allow her to stay there and get back on her feet? Because she does not want that. A lot of the times, it's not even these people who are putting her out, although they do get tired of her coming and going. No, she picks up, takes off, goes back to the streets, and then comes back like a stray cat, maybe 9, 10 days later, 30 days later, couple months later, and wants a place to sleep. That is how these people are. And they will never change. And you can basically see, look at how skinny she is. It's quite clear that she's likely on some substance, or she may also have, she may have also caught the dragon. You know, she may have also caught the dragon, and it's hard. It's absolutely hard. And of course, these people, when they're on the streets and they need, they need to take their medication to prevent more, to prevent, deletion. Nope, they're not going to do it. They're going to keep on keeping on. They're going to avoid taking their. They're not going to go and get their medicine from the pharmacy. They're not going to go to their doctor visits. No, they're not responsible. Okay, people who are in the streets, they're in the streets because they're not responsible. They stay. Homelessness can happen to anyone, but when you're a responsible person, you are working actively to get off the streets. Okay, and usually that's what happens. You get off. You find a way to get off the streets. You look for every opportunity you have. You get into a shelter, and then from there you rebuild yourself, or you find another way to get off the streets. All right. In some cases, if you're able to take out loans, you take out loans. Guys, when I was actually homeless, how did I get out of that situation? I couldn't get into a shelter. I couldn't do any of that. What I ultimately had to do was take out loans. All right. I ended up taking out more student loans. And and it was so stressful. I had just finished one master's and I had to go directly into another master's. This is the craziest thing. It's ironic though, because that master's degree is the degree that actually gave me a massive foundation in life. I learned so much more from that master's. I mean, my basis in that master's basically upgraded me in every way. My math, my ability to think reasonably and rationally, my all aspects of my life were upgraded as a result of that master's. But it was so hard. Like, and guys, I'm telling you, when I was on the streets, there was a point where I was thinking, you know what, I could do this, because like things started to improve. I started to get comfortable, had a little money in my pocket. I was like, you know what, I could do this. I could stay out here for a couple more months, or even a couple more years. And at some point, I just had to say, nah, get that thought out of your head, because there's a certain kind of peace that you fall into, where it's like, there was a place where I could go and I could get my laundry done. So I'd drop off my laundry, get my laundry done. All I'd have to really worry about is a place to sleep during the day. And there's a place I could go and sleep, different places I could just lay down and sleep in the grass, for the homeless people. And there were people that would always come around with food. So I would just basically chill and wait for people to come around and feed us. So by the end of the day, I'd have like a big bag of candy and cookies. I gained more weight rapidly in my life being homeless than at any other time in my life. Guys, when I say I ate good, I still do. Listen to me. I have never eaten so good in my life like when I was homeless. All right. I gained weight, y'all. I gained weight when I was homeless, and I was walking a lot, but it's just like I was just eating that much, because people were just coming around and bringing all this Glock, and on top of that, there were all these like homeless kitchens, so you'd know where to go and get food at this time, where to get food at this time, where to get food at that time, and you'll just get used to the pattern. So you just go from one place to the other place to the other place, and in between, and everything was good. And then, you had a cell phone. As long as you had your cell phone, back in those days, Wi-Fi, they didn't have unlimited data like they do now, but still we coped with it. We got by, and you basically were just chilling. And there was a certain peace in not having to deal with anything, not having to provide for yourself, not having to be responsible, having people feed you, do your laundry for you, essentially give you a free haircut, pay your phone bill, food stamps, cover the cost of your food, cash assistance, okay, put a little money in your pocket. And, there was always substances around. I did not use any substances when I was homeless, but I came close. And there were always substances around, and it was always cheap. So if you wanted some of this, you could get some of that. If you wanted some of this, you get some of that. And people, they stayed out there. Let me tell y'all something. Some of the cleanest people I knew were people that were fluffy heads, if you get what I'm saying, like crack in the wall. So basically, we're talking about crack in the wall and then heads. Let's put it like that, okay? And These guys were sometimes the cleanest people on the street. They were always fresh and clean. I know they always had money because they were always jacking stuff. All right. These people, it was a deliberate choice to live that way. And they had been living that way for years, for decades, many of them. Okay. It was a complete and utter choice. A lot of these homeless people had grills and they had tents and they were so happy and they would enjoy themselves. And come evening time, like, before sundown, you see them out there and they'd be grilling up some great meat. They'd be grilling and laughing, playing their music, relaxing, enjoying themselves. And all of these people were collecting checks from the state. They were collecting checks, pensions in some cases. Yeah, and they were out there in the streets and they chose to be there in the streets. They chose that life. Because it's a life of irresponsibility and allows you to pass the buck on to others, right? And there's a certain freedom to it. I know it. I lived out there, but you have to rise above it because I'm telling y'all, there is a certain joy living in the streets. There's a lot of hardship, but once you figure out a certain routine, a certain pattern, and you find a way, there's a certain freedom being in the streets. It's like you're connected to something. You're connected to the world. You're connected to others. You feel free and you don't want to be inside. You don't want to be cooped up. That's one of the reasons why these people don't want to go to a shelter, because they don't want to stay inside. They want to be free and outside in nature. Don't get me wrong. I will say this. The way that we live as human beings, living in these, living in these concrete cells, it's a bit abnormal because we're designed to be in nature. And it's very hard because that's one of the things that society has done. It has taken us away from our natural instincts. Most of us would be happy, especially men. Most men would be happy living in nature, living in nature with the things that they need. But it's an unfortunate situation that we are in, and I don't know what the solution is for that. But a lot of men are going to be increasingly walking away, buying acres of land, and happily, enjoying themselves on their acres. Maybe they have like a little forest area or whatever. They build whatever. It's going to be like that, She traded a good life for the streets, and now she's homeless, hungry, and suffering. What do you guys think regarding this? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.